What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Today's Friday. Today's Saturday. We'll be doing the live stream, a storytime live stream, live from Charlotte, North Carolina tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So that's basically the same time I usually do it, but you know. I wanted to let you guys know that I got some good stories for you. We're going to have some fun tonight, and I appreciate you guys sticking with me and look forward to laughing with you all tonight at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. But I seen a video last night, man, and this thing just really is crazy. There's a YouTube channel called Valuetainment, and shout out to the guy, I forgot his name, but I watched his channel for a while. He has a pretty big platform, and he was interviewing Terrence Howard, the actor. And this guy said some stuff about Puff Daddy where I was like, man. And he also said a little bit about the industry and why you don't really see him dealing with the roles and stuff like that, you know, as far as selling out his soul for, you know, gain, personal gain. But I want you to listen to what he said about Puff Daddy. It's a short excerpt from, you know, the video. And leave me a comment and tell me what you think about this. Take a look at this.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, you know, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music, and he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, you know, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. You know, when you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that shit, because the man card means everything.
All right, folks, you heard what he said, and I believe what he said, because you hearing all this crazy stuff about Puffy. Now, we talked about Puffy before. I try not to stay on this. The man locked up, more information to come out. And like I told you before, when we dealt with this whole situation, stuff like this, when people have money, it only magnifies who they are. This guy right here got fruity tendencies and tendencies to just be all outlandish as an abuser of women and all kind of stuff. And Terrence Howard, I give him respect. Man said what he said. He ain't named no names or nothing, but he just said his experience with Puffy and why he didn't go to them parties, because he seen firsthand that the man be on some freaker leak. Now, that was a 6-minute video. And, you know, a lot of people are concentrating on what he said with this part right here, where Puffy calling him over there and just staring at him and leering on him and stuff like this. He like, yo, what are we doing here? You understand what I'm saying? Then he like, yo, what's this dude's deal? Man, I'm telling you, the acting atmosphere and the thing with actors and what they do and what they got to do to get these roles, that's far above the comprehension of a lot of us, because a lot of us have never been in that position. So I mean, I'm not really at any type of subject to say who's right or who's wrong, but that right there sounds very convincing to me. Now you see, Terrence Howard don't have a lot of roles like he used to. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of other actors don't neither. But for somebody to get celebrity status, you cannot tell me at any given time it's some type of sacrifice of self at one time or another. You know, the higher you go up, because people want to work with you, or you understand what I'm saying? Did you hear what he said? He said, yeah, he done had his situations with producers where he threatened to punch him in the mouth or something because they want a favor for a favor. It's like nowadays your talent can't just be recognized to make money. It's always something else intriguing behind, or something else of intrigue behind it, and personal interest other than the role that's cast. In addition to what he said, guys, because that was a 6-minute video, I'll just play that small excerpt. He said some real powerful stuff before that, and I want to show that to you real fast before we get out of here. Take a look at this.
You know, there's a short life in
Why do you
acting
think
world.
that is? What the creative side is?
Well, because losing out money, you got to take drugs. You're going through so much shit to try and deal with life. You are literally, it's an unhealthy space. And so eventually you're going to go too far. You know, who knows what happened to Philip? Who knows what he had to do in order to get to where he was at? There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head. You know, but when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Now, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things, when you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
Man, I mean, you know, one of the things you're seeing, you went to a whole different place.
Sorry.
No, I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary.
Did you hear what he said? Them actors go through a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? As far as just even trying to get these roles and keep them. And he said, you know, you born a man one time. You give up your man card, that's it. As far as submitting to another man in that type of way, that kind of funny type of way, something you don't come back from. And a lot of people, it mess with their mind and it drive them crazy. Listen, since my channel has grown, I've been getting offers for different things. You know, some people ask me to be on radio shows. People offered to sponsor me to start my own radio thing on XM radio and stuff like that. I've turned it down. You know what I mean? I like what I do on my channel. I'm content. I mean, if a further venture happens that improves the channel and the message that I give off and what I like doing and my enjoyment and the passion of things that I like talking about, I can understand that, but I would never do that at the risk of my own safety or sanity. And a lot of people should think about that too. How many people out here have you ever seen that are famous stars that they say have a network of millions upon millions, and all of a sudden they take their own lives, or they're always upset, or they're this or that, where normal people, you know, on bottom rungs of the ladder looking up at these people saying, man, if I was in that position, I would be content. It's never like that. Man is never satisfied. We are knowledge-seeking beings for a reason. You can give us everything on the planet and we'll still quest for something outside of that. Just something to think about, man. The thing about Puffy was the main reason why this video took off. You know, this video was made because he just said his experience with Puffy with the craziness, which I thought was funny. But the real gist of the video is what he said about people selling their soul and stories like we saw time and time again, but he broke it down in a contrast where I really understood what he was saying, and I respect him for it. Leave me a comment, man. Tell me what you think about the video. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.